tapes of what? Fuck you, prove it. I got boxes of tapes, evidence, other documents proving it. I can't wait to see you explain this to a jury, you fucking cocksucker. This is gonna be fucking fun. I told you I have evidence. Just fucking kill me. I am killing you.
I've noticed people on my channel responding to really weird comments. You know, like a person who is subscribed to my channel and has been subscribed to my channel for a long time. And then all of a sudden they'll post on a video, you know, it's AI? How? How is it AI? You know, things like that. And it's weird and it doesn't make sense, right? And people are responding to these people. And I think they believe they are real. The other thing is we have bots and information warriors who are responding to their own comments. But anyway, there are real people commenting to fake comments. And there are fake commenters that carry on their own conversations with each other. It's almost like they want to take over the entire discussion. Almost, right? So let's listen to a video that isn't my video. And let's listen to them talk about what they're doing right now.
It has recruited hundreds of thousands of information warriors to control the internet. This means the information warriors will essentially be engaged in the act of shutting down dissent. YouTube comment sections are being targeted by so-called digital first responders.
YouTube comment sections are being targeted by so-called digital first responders. Now, if you don't think those people are here, you're high. Because there are also fake people, like literally not real people, making channels that have to do with this kind of shit.
Who pretend to be ordinary users of the platform, but are actually working to disrupt proceedings and support the ideology of Klaus Schwab's WEF. The World Economic Forum is not the only globalist organization setting its sights on controlling the narrative on social media.
They have the IDF, or the Internet Defense Force. You have ADL and different organizations. You have Google, who has their own brand of people. There's all kinds of different people out there trying to subvert the internet. There's either a ring of truth to a comment, or it seems off. Or there's always a noob asking more and more questions. Someone just said every comment is valuable. Well, this proves that every comment isn't valuable.
A global influence campaign funded by the Israeli government had a $1.1 million budget last year. The state of Israel employs an army of 15,000 people to influence foreign publics, and they maintain 3 offices in 3 different countries solely dedicated to controlling the narrative on the internet. And Google's Jigsaw unit sponsors a RAND report that recommends infiltrating and subverting online conspiracy forums.
Google is infiltrating and subverting online discussions. When they say forum, they just mean discussion.
Within. According to the report, the best way to subvert conspiracy forums is by planting authoritative messaging wherever possible.
That's the best way, but they have other techniques. They come as a friend, they ask endless questions, they loop you, they get you talking about something else, and that's actually a documented way to do it. They keep you looping with other stupid shit so that you can't move forward.
So what is authoritative messaging? If you've spent any time on forums lately, you might have noticed that when an interesting or explosive topic is created, the thread is immediately swarmed by users leaving messages disparaging the original post, picking it apart and basically finding any possible way to cast doubt on its legitimacy.
And that's exactly what happens. Any real user that's going to come here and listen to things and possibly discuss is just going to get to the point where if they disagree that much, they're going to leave. No one is going to consistently hang around. I would never do that. I'm not going to go to some channel that I totally disagree with, watch it all the time, and just try to tear it down. Anybody that would do that isn't real or just doesn't have a fucking life at all.
This type of behavior is an example of authoritative messaging. The report states that if authoritative messaging in the conspiracy forum is successful, so-called moderate conspiracy theorists will flip to become influencers, and help guide the flock to greener pastures as brand ambassadors for the common good. The Google report goes on to claim that conspiracy forum members will eventually be persuaded by the bombardment of content, and they will slowly come around to believing that mainstream media and the fact checkers are right by the sheer volume of evidence and or peer pressure to conform.
I 100% believe that the whole idea is to keep posting and get it shut down. That's what these people do. That's what Bolsheviks do. They will snatch things right out of your hand. They will take the food off another person's plate to get what they want. That's what they do. That is what they've done all through history. They end up shutting everything down, murdering people at the very end. It always ends up with burning books and killing people. And then they blame it on the nation that they're operating within. Every time.
It's clear the elites don't have much respect for the intelligence and persistence of the average so-called conspiracy theorist. We are part of something huge right now. The more they lie, the more they deceive, the more they expose themselves, the closer they are to losing control.
So remember that when you're reading these comments, don't just answer them. Read it. If this person has been subscribed for a while and you've seen them commenting and it's some brand new noob comment, whoa, this is AI? How? How could this all be AI? Just ignore them. And if one is just over the top, say hello to them. Say, hello, digital first responder. Hope you're doing well today. Or hello, person from the ADL. Hello, person from Google. Hello, person from wherever. Stalwarts. Because they exist. They're out here. They're trying to influence you. They're trying to influence this. They are ultimately trying to get it shut down. Another person, typical Fed posting, posted, I burned down a TOWER, now I feel better. So I immediately removed that shit. They are doing this everywhere. But I promise you, they are here. They are operating right down underneath. And they are ultimately trying to take over the entire conversation, where it's them responding to each other. Some of it's AI, some of it is these operators. Be aware. And you may ask why the ADL or these other organizations are getting involved with this kind of stuff. And it's because they believe that it's going to turn everybody into Nazis, that people who get involved with this kind of stuff turn into Nazis. And that's really the case. There's one user who goes to all these types of channels and has multiple accounts and says absurd things, crazy things, attacks people, just different types of sock puppet accounts. And when I tracked him down, the further I tracked him down, all his accounts have said that. In the past, he said, you're all closet Nazis. At some point, you're all closet Nazis. So there is a thought process where they believe that getting into this kind of stuff leads to people turning into Nazis. So there are multiple people involved with this, multiple organizations for different reasons. You know, Share Blue, Stalwarts, the whole Rollcon operation, all of it. It's all different groups of people getting involved with shutting this down for different objectives. And there's always a reason why they're involved. They're not just doing it. They have a goal. And a good majority of the comments on this channel alone are by those people. If it's a lie or an embellishment, I'll remove it so people don't see those a whole lot. But this is what they do. They come and they lie, they embellish, and then when you remove it, they claim you're censoring me. But the whole reason they're doing it, their ultimate goal is to have you totally shut down, censored, shut down. So they're complaining that they're being censored while they're trying to shut you down. And this is how these people operate. So in the pinned comments that I put up, always, I started putting up the Schilling, Fed Posting, and Mullen 101 guide. And it just goes over some of the things to look for. And usually have nothing to do with the video at all. Or they'll ask ridiculous questions that have been answered over and over. You know, this is if they aren't doing the overt operator kind of stuff described earlier in the video. So they'll ask ridiculous questions answered over and over. You know, do you have any solutions? Well, you can go through the channel, dude. You too lazy to go through the channel? If so, then you probably can't help yourself anyway. User always slightly changes their opinions, which is true. They always seem to change. It's almost like somebody else is always posting under that username. There's constant contradictions in what they talk about. And then some of these people will come along and just make video tag comments, and that marks the video for later identification. So, you'll have Joe Blow comes along and types, V2K, blah, 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 blah. When I was trying to avoid those keywords, he puts them in the comments, and then they can search that later and find it to remove it or to whatever. The user asks endless questions, and their response, if at all, will just be another question. Those are usually bots. Fed posting about violence, uprising, or destruction of property, just like the person that posted, I just burned down a TOWER and now I feel better. But they actually said the word TOWER. Attempting to extort, entrap, or by gaining medical advice. So they're always going, how do I do this? How do I do that? Somebody tell me how to do it. And then they'll attempt to contact you about it. Since 2020, we'll say, the medical area of the internet, it is being policed a lot more. The same questions over and over. Like there's one where I have the person asking it 20 times in every video. And some of these bots will come along and two different people or bots will post the exact same comment to the T, like copy and paste the exact same comment. Appealing that I consider the possibility that this is paranormal related, which is, come on, dude. There's a million paranormal channels. Stop paying attention to my channel and go join one of those if you're hooked on that shit. Trying to sound inquisitive while attempting to influence the viewer. Baseless speculation is suddenly fact for the poster. Those are a no-no here. There's a hierarchy here. Get used to it. User makes ridiculous and maniacal comments, then asks if anyone else is experiencing it. They also do that with other subjects. You can go to 4chan and see that all the time, trying to entrap people. Makes comments attempting to correct information in the video. They do this all authoritative, and then they'll ask a question that is totally remedial after that. It's like they forget that they posted that earlier and then do it. Constant questions about remedies when this information is covered here, which is like the one that I talked about earlier. So that covers a lot of them. That's it for now. Look out for Charlie. That's it for now. Look out for Charlie.
Oh, man. I like this kid. This fucking guy's crazy.
Look out for Charlie.
Charlie, what that son of a bitch did. I want him dead.